What's up, Gino? Oh, you're muted. You got to unmute yourself. There
I'm
you
gonna
go.
see. I'm gonna see if I can't get this thing going. Hang on a second.
Okay,
How you doing?
good. You look like an air traffic controller.
That's what I'm trying to do, baby.
We may have to use that tonight because we are doing a standard meeting, not a webinar meeting. So everybody joins on the chat room. So we're gonna have to hide people and mute them and all that good stuff.
I don't even know what that means, but all right. Are you
Well,
hearing
it'll
me?
be instead of just like the last time where it's us guys, our videos only. Everybody will be live at
Ah,
once. But I'm going to try and keep
oh,
everybody muted and quiet.
well, that'll be fun. That'll be fun and exciting.
Thank James for that. I said, "Oh, great! You set up the wrong type of meeting." How's it going, buddy?
Hey, I'm not gonna. I don't think I'm gonna use this. I think I'm gonna. I liked it better back the way it was.
Okay,
Let's see how we do that. Hang on, hang on. Oh, I got it.
I'm going to change my background here.
There. Let's see. Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine, Gino.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Well,
all
I'm
good.
shutting it off. I kind of like this. I like that better.
We just have to find a background. My black chair disappears and everything. Try this one. That one will work. There we go.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. That's my
You know what it
office.
looks like? This is no joke. It looks just like Pat Parenti's old office at the new L'Oreal headquarters.
Oh, it does.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, the L'Oreal headquarters, the new one over on the other side, is gorgeous.
Is it really?
Yeah, they must have spent billions.
No kidding. I haven't been there. I haven't done anything. I'm gonna hang
Yeah,
on. I'm gonna figure out how to turn you up. I think I have to just test my speaker and microphone.
and I'm going to see if I can get us on Facebook Live.
All right.
Ever since Facebook changed things up, there's been issues. I hate the new Facebook look. How about you?
I'm not familiar. You know, I'm not good with any of this stuff, Derek. I'm on my new laptop right now and I'm trying to navigate how to turn it up a little bit. Pay attention. I don't, I'm not not only do I not like this stuff, I, I don't care to learn. I just don't, I'm not into it at all. The only thing I'm trying to do now is I have a feeling this is where I'm going to be for the next couple of years. So I bought a new laptop. I got new headphones and a new microphone. I have a monitor coming and an HD camera coming. And
Perfect.
yeah, go to town doing Zooms.
Be a rock star, right?
It's all good, man. I'll go with whatever goes down. What's up, dude?
Let's cross our fingers and see if
I'm
Facebook.
I'm muted. That was probably the best version of me you'll ever get today, Gino.
Yeah, that was really nice. Thanks.
I just want to give you a little bit of peace.
It's all good. It's all good. I don't need much more peace than I have right now.
Hey, I got to be honest with you. I'm a little bit disturbed every time we get on one of these calls that all the books and CDs behind you are yours. I mean, that's a little bit,
Yeah.
I know the Italian mentality, but I mean, put another book up there for crying out loud.
I've never been at this angle, and I was actually looking behind me on that top shelf back there. I've read every one of those books at least 5 times. I
Well,
don't know if
yeah, but
I
the
don't know.
Dr. Seuss ones, we don't count those. I mean, those are like
Oh,
you could read those
absolutely.
all in
They're
one
the easy
afternoon.
ones to get through. I don't know if you guys saw this. I don't know if you remember my good friend Peter Anthony. He had a couple of salons in Long Island. He did some little bit of work for everybody, but Peter sent me this. last year with a thank you. It's the first edition of The Power of Positive Thinking. And I'll tell you, I have gone through this 5 or 6 times the last 3 months or so, but what a nice gift. First edition, signed by him. Unbelievable. Pretty
So
cool.
Facebook is live. It has a whole different interface now on the go live. It's ridiculous, just so you know.
Okay.
But let's see if it is actually. It told me it's live. Let's go on my phone and check here. So people
Hey,
can
listen,
obviously-
I have 2 first edition Gino Stampora DVDs that are
Good
signed.
job. Good job. Boy, he looks like a stud in that one. That's an old photo. Hey, I'm going to give that a try. What do I do? I use my phone and go to Facebook Live.
Yeah. This
Oh,
way you can watch. But then when you do get on it, just make sure you mute it and watch the comments. Otherwise, you'll get double sound.
I got you. Facebook Live.
Well, you go. No, it would be inside the
Oh.
Salon Owner Mastermind group.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have.
Mastermind.
Yeah, I don't have Facebook, but Barb does. I'll try it here.
No, but you're in our group. You're in our group. You don't need to go on Facebook. Just go in Salon Owner Mastermind, and it's in there.
Okay.
But go on as
We're gonna
Barb
get-
because Barb runs the show.
We're gonna get him high tech yet.
Okay, I'm joined. What do I do? Just push that?
Then if you hit the screen, it'll come right on. When,
Oh, there
when you're
we
in
are.
Salon Owner Mastermind, you'll see it live. Just hit the screen, and then you'll see all the comments underneath.
I got you. I just okay.
I'm just gonna figure out how
Now
to stand
live.
it up.
What do I do now?
So if you're in Salon Owner Mastermind,
I got it. Oh yeah. Hi, Ronnie. Hey,
There
Scott
you go.
Gray. Oh wow, this is so
oh
cool.
God, we just turned Gino onto a new thing.
I'm gonna be reading. Holy shit! I'll be reading this all the time. I better do good work tonight. I got a lot of cool people listening. Hi,
So-
Ludwig.
So, because of the way James set the meeting up, we got everybody that's going to go on a screen.
How you
then
doing,
I can-
brother? You're muted.
Ira is muted. You got to unmute yourself, Ira.
Unmute yourself, Ira. You're muted. Unmute.
Cool. Can you hear
There
me?
you go. What's kicking, dude?
No, everything is good. I saw Gino Stampora, Beauty Business Reset. I'm like, man, that wore me out. I tried my best. When COVID hit, I said, I'm doing it. I talked to Philip and Mary Wilson. We're going to be on. Cool. I got you. I'm there. And I tried my best. And I'm like, I can't. I'm still that guy who's 5 days a week behind the chair. I'm not from the consulting vibe. I'm from the grind, man. I'm in it. I'm living it.
I
So
understand.
I just couldn't get beyond everybody to some context was selling their wares because we're all collectively freaking out. It's fascinating to see where our industry has gone. Yo, I tried to pay attention to intercoiffure. I couldn't. I was dying 7 deaths. I was like, plus, this is such a pleasure and good evening, gentlemen. Thank you for unmuting me. I was so frustrated. I just wanted to say hello to everyone. All my
understand.
Goombas, my friends.
Well, Ira,
And-
glad you
there
joined
was
us
no
to say hello,
vibe.
my friend.
Hello, it's great to see you.
It's
I
great
love
to
the
see
work
you, Ira.
guys do.
How's
It's
Katie, buddy?
So impressive. Katie is right. She's so good, man. She made homemade apple crisp.
Oh man, I wish I was at your house.
Yeah, you ain't lying because I just cooked up on the egg 2 Wagyu beef tenderloins.
Unbelievable.
Life
Even
is
better.
good. I played 18 today, got fitted for a new driver. I mean, I really, 2020, if nothing else, we must stay present. And I just count my blessings. My life is good. Dude, I'm grateful. I'm going to try to do my best in the 4th quarter because optimistically at 63, I'm in the 4th quarter. But I've been doing this for 46 years.
I understand.
It's time to chill.
I understand. Listen, I'm right there with you, baby.
But it's fascinating because I have to work with young people. So I try not to be a fossil. I want to be relevant. And I'm just grateful. At this point, I've developed enough of a clientele. There's enough people that just want to maintain appearances because it makes them feel better.
Well, of course.
But
And I
man,
think
the business has gotten crushed. It's gone underground. It's so many different things have happened. Gee, how are you keeping people on focus?
Well, I'll tell you. First of all, I think to keep the everyday focused, I try to remind them how important it is to go to the salon. When you feel like you look good, you feel better.
Yes,
and I
sir.
think there's a mentality issue certainly in America right now. I mean, everybody's kind of freaking out about how long are things going to last and where is this going and what's next. But you're right on target, Ira, and it's really, I was talking to James about it earlier. It's pretty much where I want to open tonight, and that is,
Don't do it yet. Don't do it yet, Gino. You
okay.
get 3 minutes.
All right, 3 minutes.
Don't open yet.
Hi, Katie.
Hey,
How are
Katie.
you?
Love, love, love.
Nice to see you. Love to you too.
You.
Everything good?
Everything's great.
Fantastic.
No complaints.
Katie, Ira's trying to get Gino to open up before he's ready to open up. He was about to give away his whole seminar.
Thank you. Katie.
Oh, gee, sorry. You know what? When I get together with Gino, it's not fair. We laugh and laugh and laugh. I
Yes,
love
we
them.
do.
Buddies.
I love them.
We know how to have a good time, Ira.
Yes,
no
we
doubt
do.
about that.
Yes, we did.
We've been doing that
Gino's running, brother. Don't waste time.
We've been doing that for a good long time.
Yes, sir.
Amen. You got a good run.
Well, Ira, I don't know if you guys heard, but Phil and Mary Wilson, when the vaccine comes out, they're going to pair it with their whole hair ensemble, and they're going to bring the RV over to Gino's house, and they're going to do hairspray, that funky oil he has, that really cool thing,
Sasha
and the
Inky
vaccine.
oil.
And Gino's going to make the wine, and they're going to have the whole party there. You're going to get
Absolutely.
everything all in one.
And
Nice.
you can even come and get inoculated. We're gonna have yeah.
Okay.
Excellent.
We're there.
Very excellent.
Just don't tell Barbara because she's going to be mad at Gino.
Barbara's always ready.
Yeah, I think she's not real ready right now. She's 3 doors down, laying in bed. She just had her knee replaced.
Oh my
Ooh.
gosh. Oh,
Yeah.
Say it ain't so. At her tender young age.
Man, I'm telling you, it's been crazy around here.
So are you
Oh,
stepping and
Gino.
fetching?
Man, you got it. I'm doing it all. I'm the cook, chief cook, bottle washer, left, right, and backwards, man. Doing it all. Keeping that
By the way,
ice
Jay,
machine full.
Like playing goaltender here, thanks to you.
Hi, Andrew. You're muted, Andrew.
Not anymore.
I'm getting pretty good at this shit.
Wow.
Good for you.
Gino's even on
At your
Facebook
age,
Live.
man.
I'm
Hey
telling
guys, everybody on Facebook Live. Hey John Harms, the rest of the gang. Glad to see you in here.
you. Hey, John Harms. I
Sorry
haven't.
to hijack your thing here, Derek, this evening. I'm just, sorry,
Oh,
man.
totally.
Trying to blend.
Totally cool, Ira. You almost got Gino to spill the beans.
Yes, you did.
Almost.
Yes, you did.
Gino's out of the Jersey mob. He's got loose lips.
Well, and now that you turned me on to this damn YouTube thing, James is answering people back already and everything.
It's hey, listen, you've taught me a lot, Gino. I'll teach you a few things. Don't worry.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to that.
Just don't let Anthony DeFranco turn his camera on because then we have a whole nother problem going
Not
on
a
here.
problem. Not a problem.
He's gonna text me something with profanity in it right now after I said that.
I'm sure. He's a great guy. I haven't seen him in years.
I remember going up there when I was teaching for Goldwell, and
Me
I did
too.
a class for DeFranco Spagnola.
Yes, indeed. Me
And
too.
yeah, they were such fine gentlemen. And they were complaining then because, man, there goes the neighborhood. It was starting to turn Orthodox Jewish. They don't come out on Saturday. We're dying here.
You know
see
what,
the
though?
challenges that you can have. You don't anticipate these things.
I love that area. I really do. I love that part of Long Island so much. And I was up there with Arnie Kasdan. Do you remember Arnie?
Where was Arnie from?
From Great Neck.
Okay, I didn't do
And I had no idea. I'm in Great Neck, and I'm like, there were more Jaguars than I've ever seen in my life. And I'm a Jaguar freak. And I
Okay.
said to him, what's with all the Jaguars? And he said, well, good Jews don't buy Mercedes and BMWs. They buy
Because it's
Jaguars.
perfect.
And
Good
I'm
Jew.
looking around and there's Jaguars everywhere. And we had such a good time that I did DeFranco Spagnola in the morning. And then I did a thing for the Great Neck Chamber of Commerce that afternoon. And it was just spectacular. A wonderful time.
But remember, it was all about New Best at that time.
Oh, no
New
doubt.
Best. They
Yeah.
ruled the world.
Yeah, they were what I stayed at his house, and he put me in a room. When I did work for New Best and Company, I stayed at his house. He put me in a room that was all white, and I said, "You can't do that to me. I can't. I hate white towels. It makes me think of a hotel. I don't like white sheets. The room was all white, and every suit was like 4 inches from the next suit. I said, I'm not going to stay at your house because I know I'm going to spill a glass of wine. I'm going to have too much to drink and throw up on your white rug.
That's subtle.
Crazy man.
Well, hey,
Crazy.
Gino, John Harms just posted. It says last time he saw you he was at a conference and the fire alarm went off at 3 a.m. and you came out running in your boxers, not briefs though. He wanted to make sure everybody knew that you wore boxers just in
Did he
case.
mention on there all the girls that were behind me that were chasing me out of the hotel? That was a lot of fun. I was on the 31st floor. I had to run down 31 floors to get out of that damn hotel.
I would have thought you would have done a Tom Cruise with the sheets and you would have just shimmied right down the whole side.
No, I'm not good with that kind of stuff. No.
Good stuff. All right, we're going to give
Oh,
it about
wow.
5 minutes, and then we're going to get started. Okay, Gino?
Sounds good. I'm really quick going to say hi to Patty and to Oscar and Anthony DeFranco. My God, it's so nice to see your name. I don't see your face on there.
Hello,
but-
Gino.
And hello, Patty. I love you, baby. Thank you for your text.
Love
And
you too.
Vanessa Rose. This is exciting.
Down here tonight. They're all stacking up for you.
Fan club, Gina. Fan club.
Yeah. Well, now I'm looking at there's John Harms. James saw you, that John Harms. Laugh my ass off. Gino's telling the truth. That John Harms, he's a great guy. I haven't seen him in forever. Hey, Nikki
Ronnie
Lee
Winter,
here.
thank you so much for the compliment. We
Oh,
appreciate
Annette,
it.
hey, hi, Annette. Holy mackerel. All I'm going to do is read this now. No, I'm not. I'm not.
Gino's going to be like this, right? James, he'll be like
Yeah.
this.
Exactly. And I'm not going to have my 4th glass of wine till 5 of 9.
I got to tell you a little trick, Gino, moving forward. Once you get all your gear, get a little phone stand that stands right next to the monitor so you can watch Facebook Live too.
Great idea. I will.
Otherwise it gets crazy.
I think I just got one. Is that what this is?
Love it.
It's
That's
so
what it is.
Yeah.
Is that what this is?
No, that's oh yeah, that one does. Okay, perfect. Yeah, you just put your phone in there, put it next to your monitor, and watch Facebook Live.
Okay.
Hey, listen, if you don't want to spend the money, just take that first edition and stand it up, and you could prop the phone right on it. It's
Not a,
There you
a,
go.
ve-
not
a very
problem.
she version of a phone stand.
I got it going on right here. All right, hang on. Now I gotta. What did I just do? I have to.
Oh, there's our girl Nikki. She's on Facebook Live.
Here we go. Hi, Dina. Wow.
Andrew, I love the new camera angle.
You do you?
I do. Gino was trying to make you jealous with all his books behind there, but I think Andrew might have more signed books than you do, Gino. I don't know.
Oh, well, that's just one wall you're looking at over here. I got walls over here filled with books.
That's impressive, Gina.
I don't read them. I just buy them. People send them to me. I put them on the wall.
Andrew is in Manhattan in his panic room, and he's got books all around there just in case.
Including on the windows.
Books and Doritos and water. That's all he needs to survive. He can stay 6 months in there.
I love it.
So great group we got joining tonight. Again, it's 8:05. We're going to give it 5 more minutes, and we will get started officially at 8:10 if that works for you, Gino.
That's perfect for me.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Welcome everybody to Facebook Live and to the Zoom. If you're on the Zoom, I have taken your video off if you're not a speaker, except for Ira.
I'm going to be quiet, I promise. I'll be respectful. I'm here to listen. I'm a professional listener. Thank you, Derek.
We'll
Oh,
get
hi,
started.
Mary Ball. Hi,
Hey,
Mary.
Mary.
Hi, Sue. Holy mackerel. This is so much fun. Shit, these people know everything I'm going to talk about.
Dyer, we got to get Intercoiffure in here because we get a better audience.
There you go.
They're all
Hey,
primed
we
up.
couldn't
there.
be in New York. We were supposed to be in
Are
New
they in
York.
here yet,
This is
James?
the
They might be in
craziest
here.
thing.
Yeah,
No, it's
there you go.
been the weirdest thing. What was going to happen? And the attempt to make it virtual, I mean, at least they made an attempt. It's an initial thing.
So-
I mean, who ever thought we'd be here?
Yeah.
James, have we
Definitely.
put anything out for the award thing this year yet?
We're working on it. But Ira's right. It's funny, right? We would all be in New York right now. Anthony DeFranco and I talked about that 2 weeks ago, that I would be at the bar, not in my dining room right now.
Yeah.
And
Isn't
that's
that-
where the real meat is. That's the beauty of it. The relationship.
Hey, guys, I'm going to give a shameless plug for everybody that's on tonight. We would like you to all nominate us for the NAHA Education Company of the Year
Oh,
for
very cool.
doing what we did during BBR.
Consider it done.
Somebody that made a difference. And that wouldn't just be us. Obviously, it would be all the educators that have been on here and contributed to such a great effort to change the industry during COVID.
I want to do a quick plug too while you're at it, and you're on, Derek. I will make sure I do that for you guys because it's been wonderful what you've done over
Well,
the
for you too, I mean,
Yes.
if we get, I hate to say we're not getting a stage because it's going to be virtual, but if we did get a stage, it would be every
Everyone
coach
comes
that's
on.
been
I understand. I also want to plug the fact that you all know Nikki Lee. Nikki Lee and I have an incredible program coming up on October 26th. Go on the
Absolutely.
statementsproject.com. You'll find it all right there. But please join us. It's going to be, well, you know Nikki. She's just off the charts incredible when it comes to what the beauty industry needs at this very time.
I agree.
Yeah.
Gino. Nikki has been a great help to our company, Salon Ninja, and she is an awesome educator, and I highly recommend her.
Wonderful. Thank you.
No, and listen, while we're plugging Nikki, everybody should plug my pal Iva, because I don't know if I don't know what would have happened. Listen, they released the PPP.
We all know somebody gives Nikki all that coffee, right? Keeps
All
her
I'm
going.
saying is this: is that the PPP loan came out for salons, and sure as shit, if it wasn't Nikki and Iva that trained everybody how to work with it, I don't know who did. And if you prove to me that somebody else did more, I will fight you in the street. It
I
just
think
has to
you're
be with the mask
absolutely
on.
right. I think you're absolutely right. No doubt about it. And you know what? I've been thinking if I had an Iva, I could be at least a Nikki Lee. That's what's missing in my world.
Hey, listen, you know what?
If we all had an Iva, forget about it.
Isn't that the truth?
Gino, I'm so surprised you haven't learned all these years. Make her an offer she can't refuse.
Yeah, I know, but you hate to do that to your friends.
Hey, James, when we do the picture, we may have to bring Gino in just as, exactly. We're going to do the Goodfellas picture.
I love it. Yeah, get me in there. Make sure you get the Goodfellas. Isn't that get the whole thing in the trunk? What about his paws? You mean his hooves?
No, the
Yeah,
hoof.
get his hooves in the trunk.
Yeah, that's great.
Hello,
We're
Kelly Connor.
More people in here.
So now, by mistake, I set the link up wrong, and this is actually kind of fun because every time somebody jumps on, their video comes on. So this is actually one of the listen. Not that you weren't going to be fun alone, Gino, but this is like very
James, I got news for you. It's a little more work, but it's kind of fun.
yeah.
I agree, but I'll tell you what, as the speaker, it puts a lot of pressure on because I didn't realize that all these people were going to be on there. Now I'm getting a pretty good look at who's there. You know,
Look
you
at
got-
that, right? It's like being up on stage again.
Listen, I miss the stage. I miss the audience so much. I miss these shows so much. And I wish somebody would, I wish like a fairy godmother would come down and say, just hold on. And next year in March, the shows will start again. But nobody seems to know and nobody's saying. And, I just read about when the vaccine comes out, I don't know. Just going to have to We'll make it work. You know, I was talking to somebody not long ago. You just have to find a way to make it work, regardless of what it is. You find a way to make your life work, no matter what comes down. And when you've lived long enough, you begin to realize, when you look back to rely on experience, that the tougher things that came down made you stronger and more powerful as you moved along. You know that old saying, all character is built during the storm. Well, this is probably the biggest storm any of us have ever gone through. And I think those that are smart and those that are careful financially will prosper through this and grow and become more. I can tell you one thing. It's been cool for my personal relationship with my wife to have so much time together. I mean, we've really gotten tight in a lot of different ways, and I can see where, I mean, I'm doing more emailing and more FaceTiming with my grandchildren than I ever did before this. So, you know, it's very hard to explain, but with every negative always comes a positive. You know, with every what might look like bad thing that's going on, there's always some good stuff that comes out of it as a result. It's just the way it is. Is it time for me to go to work? Because I'm kind of starting.
Yep, it sure is.
Fantastic.
Ira, I'm going to take off your vid for now. I hope you don't mind.
That's great. That's great.
Thanks for
And
jumping
it's
in,
just
buddy.
a pleasure seeing you, gentlemen.
Ira, I love you.
I love you too, man. Rock the house.
Thanks, man. No doubt.
James,
Ira.
be cool.
Thanks,
Take care.
Eric.
So we are live on BBR 68. Tonight we have the pleasure of having Gino Stampora as our speaker. And yes, James, I'm already recording. Don't worry about it. But you can go for it. There we go. Beautiful.
Number 68, Gino Stampora, ready
I
to
love
go.
it.
And
I
James,
love
I
it.
even got the number right this time.
I still
Welcome,
think the
everybody.
number is wrong, but we'll
Tonight's
assume it's
BBR.
68.
Welcome everybody on Facebook Live tonight. It's great to have you all. And with that, I'm going to kick it off to Gino.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for having me. And it is quite an honor to be here. And it's so cool the way this screen was accidentally set up that I can see so many beautiful people's names on the screen in front of me. It's just so cool. And I want to thank all of you for taking time out of your crazy lives to spend 50 minutes or so with me tonight. And I especially want to thank some of you like Anthony DeFranco and the people that I haven't seen for years. But, you know, I look at the screen and I look back at somebody like Anthony, and my God, he used to have me in and pay me a lot of money to come to his salon before I even knew what the hell I was talking about. And those are the people you got to love forever. The people that had you in when you had nothing. And now they're back when you have a little something to give out. But, you know, I've been in my heart of hearts, hairdresser for a million years now. And it's important to open tonight to share with all of you that there's something so very unique and so very special about us beauty professionals. There's something that no one else can compete with. Our ability to maneuver, our ability to work in the craziest situations, the fact that we can read people so well, the fact that we can that our customers would miss us so much, and all of a sudden we'd have this even enhanced or advanced value as a result of what's happened through this COVID thing. And we've, as Derek talked about, we've been together and been on this screen and talked about this for months. And I'll tell you, thank God we have Zoom. I love this opportunity to talk, to be on stage, to be together, to share ideas, to learn and to teach. The only thing that I miss from this is I don't get the feedback, the understanding from all of you in return. So please, when you have a chance, text me, email me, shoot me a message on Facebook Live, and let's talk about what we need to do to go even further, not just to get through this, but to get from it. What you want to be careful of is it's not about getting through the day. It's about getting from the day. It's not about getting through the month or through the year. It's about getting from the month and from the year. And I mentioned to all of you that are on this screen, if you were here 6 months ago, that there wasn't going to be a normal, that it wasn't going to go away, that we weren't ever going to get back. We're going to have to learn not only how to live with COVID, but how to communicate and how to maneuver through it and how to be the best we can be. I think there's opportunity out there that's just endless. And I'm watching some companies that have progressed tremendously as a result of what's happening, being on top of this. So here's where I want to begin. I want to encourage all of you. There's a process, I believe it is Platonic. It's from Palo's thinking, and it is, you can choose to be a before the fact thinker, a during the fact thinker, or an after the fact thinker. I think we're in a time right now today where it's so important to become a before the fact thinker. James, we had this conversation earlier, even today, about the way to really maneuver this situation that we're in is to be a before the fact thinker. Be just a step ahead of what's going on, a step ahead of everyone else, a step ahead of your industry. I mean, there's places, there's times, there's notches in our industry now where you can create the future. You can create the way your salon should be run. You can create the way that you work behind the chair. Will you be double booking right now? No, but you know what? The value of a beauty professional is higher than it's ever been before. Are you taking the time to take advantage of that and really hone in on that value and make it work for you? Make sure you're charging the right price and not necessarily the highest price possible, but that you're getting paid for your value.
Hey, Gina, you'll love this, right? So, obviously, planning. It's getting third quarter, so BBR, we're trying to bring up the value of what we've brought for our 68 episodes, and we've been lucky enough to have you on. I want to say 3 times, but it's definitely at least 2. I think maybe you did an intro for Nikki Lee at one point because she, God forbid, her great content didn't need Gino to do a preamp.
Yes, yes. Yeah.
But I was, and I'm a name dropper, by the way, just like Gino is. So I'm texting with Ted Gibson a couple of nights ago, and I'm saying, hey, you should really come on the show. I'd love to do your $1,000 haircut class. And he sends me a message back and he says, hey, dude, you should probably Google me now. And I said, what do you mean? He goes, well, I'm not $1,000 a haircut anymore. I'm $2,400 a haircut. So speaking right to what you're saying, it charge what you're worth. You could, it's not a matter of getting away with it. It's a matter of where the expertise lies.
Absolutely. And you know what? Right where you're coming from, James, the difference between where your value lies and what you're charging sometimes can be tremendous. And all you really want to think about is how do you narrow that field? How do you really charge what you're worth and get it? And I think today, what a lot of people overlook, we're almost so excited to get back to the salon, to get back to work, to get back behind the chair. We forget that our customer sees us in a very different light now. We really have that heightened level of value, and they have almost any expectation. They just want to look good, and more importantly, they want to get away from the world. They want to get with us for a little while and just communicate who we are and what we're doing and where we're going. And that makes them feel so good about what they do, which, by the way, leads me to, I wanted to share with all of you. I pulled out a few things and I thought it might be a good time to share with you a dozen ways to have a better life. And here's why. You want to be careful today. One of the things that has really changed is a lot of us in some ways are stressed out. We're stressed out about, will work ever get back to normal? What's going to happen with money? Is there going to be another phase of COVID too? All this stuff is going through our heads. It's very easy to get depressed. It's very easy to be down. I happen to be talking with a dear friend of mine, John McCormick from Visible Changes, a couple of weeks ago, or last week, and he said to me, you're still as happy as you always were. And I said, John, you think after all I've been through in my life that I'm going to let something as silly as COVID get me down? It's not going to get me down. There'll be stages, there'll be people, there'll be work. And if there's not, I've got a good plan. Everything's working well. I'm going to be okay. We're all going to be okay. The most important thing right now for every person that's on this screen and on Facebook Live is this: you're still healthy. So you're already winning. We're all still healthy. So we're already winning. I'll give you a few ideas on how to have a better life one day at a time. Number one, let your heart get home before your head does. Be careful what you bring into your home, especially if you're an artist. Your home is your sanctuary. Be careful to control your stress and anxiety, and don't bring the pain home. Let your heart get home before your head does, and realize where you are, who you are, and what you're doing. See, that the most amazing thing about all of us is all of us have so much to give. We have so much to offer. I mean, do you realize that there really is greatness within you? And if I could get you to believe that, you would really find a way to bring that greatness out and become a master at who you are and at what you do. That's the key to life. The key to life is just to be happy and enjoy where you are in the moment, at the moment. Are there lessons to be learned? Of course. Will we learn lessons from this event? Of course we will. Hopefully, many of us will be astute enough to be before the fact thinkers and see those lessons and learn those lessons as they come and leave this a much greater individual. Next, pay it forward and pay it with kindness. Take care of others. Practice true respect for all living things. You can make the day of another person simply by smiling at them. Remember and never forget that all people have value. Everyone matters. And try to be careful that if you think you're going through holy hell, there's somebody who's going through holy hell 10 times faster and 10 times bigger than you are. So at times you have to slow down, pay it forward, and put your life in perspective. This is an ideal time to look for people, for clients, for people that are out of work that might have it less than you. Maybe offer a free haircut or a free service or an opportunity or a discount or some way to help others. The greatest way to help yourself is to help others. Next, make your stress creative tension. Instead of making stress be anxiety and headachy, make it be creative tension. Make it be the tension that allows you to be even more. At times, you have to give your brain permission to treat you as smart as you are. You've got a whole brain inside your head that can do incredible things. You just have to sometimes give yourself permission. Be as smart as you are. Don't make the same stupid mistakes a couple of times in a row, because it plays on you, okay? You do have control. Don't let yourself get overwhelmed by what you can't control in your life. The greatest and easiest way to control stress and anxiety is to simply work on what you can do something about and forget about what you can't do anything about. And then have focus like a laser beam. You see, you can't focus on everything. That's a shotgun approach. But if you take your career, if you take your life, you take your children, you take your relationships, and you focus only on them, you'll become a master at those things. And that's what it's all about, to become a master of life, to live every day fully, to squeeze the day dry, hang it on the wall, and look forward to tomorrow. Sometimes it's so important to just stop and look at the reality of putting life in perspective. How much luckier do you think we could be? I mean, do all of you know someone who's experienced this terrible virus and still maybe trying to get over it, but none of us have? And I mean, one of the things I was saying to all of my friends' clients is, look, when it comes to sanitation, we learned sanitation in beauty school. We learned how to do this years ago. We've got this thing covered. You see, sometimes we make it so much bigger than it is. Next, learn what you must. In order to be a master, learn what you must. Always end your day by asking yourself, what is it I don't know that if I did know would make a difference in my life? What is it you don't know right now? For instance, those of you that are working frantically as salon owners and frantically behind the chair, trying to do and be as productive as you did and were before, I think the first thing you should think about is, taking care of yourself? Are you taking immune boosters and vitamins? This is a really good time to start taking a good multivitamin and some good immune boosters. And by the way, for those of you that don't know, simply go to Swanson, SWANSON.com. I've worked with them for 30 years. They're a great company, reasonably inexpensive. And here's all you need to do. Get a good multivitamin, get some good fish oil, which they have, get vitamin D3, get vitamin C, get a B complex, and take some mushroom extract. They have some triple and quadruple mushroom extract. It will build your immune system and keep you healthy. Now,
Listen, we don't do anything to do with those magic mushrooms that you usually take. Okay, we're
Mhm.
trying to. We have a very highbrow approach to what we do to the BBR. So
I
everybody take that back.
understand.
You can go to
Okay,
Swanson,
okay.
get all your vitamin D and your
Yeah,
vitamin C,
yeah,
but stay away from the Geno magic mushrooms.
you
His
got it.
face is on the bottle, so you know
I
exactly what it is.
forgot who I was talking to. I do apologize. Okay, for your mental health, what are you reading and what are you studying and what are you listening to right now? What are you watching right now? I would suggest that this is a time where pull out the old comedy DVDs and start watching them. Get out the Marx Brothers and Monty Python and things that just make you laugh and let you get stupid and forget about the severity of what's going on every now and then. Listen to some great CDs or downloads. I would suggest the amazing Gino Stampore. I mean, his CDs and his downloads, they speak for themselves. You could listen, learn, and laugh all at the same time. And who could ask for more than that? Get a good book to read. I was just talking to the guys about my first edition of The Power of Positive Thinking. I've read this book over and over the last 6 months, probably 5 times. I think you need a couple of good books. In other words, what you need is you need support. You need a little muscle. You need something to keep you focused and keep you mentally on target. Don't let this thing get you down, because when you do, you're giving away all your power and you're letting it win. So the first thing you need to do is guard and armor yourself with the things that will keep you mentally strong. Makes sense? So glad you're here. This is really good stuff. Really good stuff. Okay, next. You're setting the sails for the day by choosing the correct attitude. And it's so hard to explain sometimes, but attitude is a choice. It really is. It's an everyday choice. And what a lot of people don't realize about attitude that can be a killer is attitude is not just the way you see out, it's the way others see in. So when your attitude is right, I tell people all the time, in beauty, it's important to be bright. I've always tried to be bright, tried to shine a little bit. Do you know that everyone shines? Some people just don't polish themselves. And it's so important to shine today. Next, you are your own best teacher. And that's something to never forget. Please understand the greatest enemy of learning is knowing. If you think you know, you build a barrier to prevent you from going any further. But beyond that, the one thing that really separates us from the people around us is our ability to learn and to grow and to try new things. So are you the part of a learning, growing environment? What are you doing to grow every day? What are you doing to expand that muscle called your brain just a little bit and think a little better and try a little harder and then develop something that I always talk about, and that is develop the habit of giving 100% every day. Give 100% of yourself to everything you do. And anything you find that you can't give 100% of yourself to, you shouldn't be doing it. Now, this is the same thing looking at today. Let's just stop for a second and take this right to work, right to behind the chair. Are you nurturing your relationships right now? Are you really building strong relationships with your guests? Are you making sure they know that it's safe to come to you, that it's clean, that it's sanitary, that it's okay? Have you taken the time to look up the guests that haven't come in and reminded them, look, we're here, we're safe, please come and join us. It would be great for you to have an hour or two away from the world, make yourself look beautiful. I have to tell you, in the midst of 18 days after her knee replacement, Barb said, I have an appointment to get my hair color on Monday morning. Do you think I should go? And I said, absolutely. If you don't go, You're not going to like your color of your hair. You're not going to like the regrowth. You're going to see the gray. You're going to get depressed. You're going to get more depressed than you are now because of your knee. I'll take you. Just find a way to go. Some people have lost touch with the fact of how important we are and how important it is to see us and spend time with us. Many of us have gotten a little blazing and lost the concept of you need to put love out there. You need to put love and respect first. You need to love and respect your guest and make them realize that there's no one quite like you. Now is not the time to give a customer an opportunity to shop. And if you can own your guest and make them love you to death, they'll be with you from now till forever. So take the time to look up the old guests that haven't been back. Your guests that are there, maybe you want to begin tomorrow creating a little bit of a new dialogue where you open by saying, thank you very much for your loyalty and for spending time with me today and for telling your friends and family about me. We really appreciate you. We appreciate your business and we want to thank you for helping keep us open and keep us alive. I don't know about all of you, but I'm sure that most of you have because it's in our hearts. I've gone crazy keeping my favorite restaurants in my area open by getting to-go food as much as possible, just to give them some money to keep them open. I feel like it's one of my obligations, and I think many of you agree, is to keep your town, keep your county, keep your city moving. Keep the economy moving, keep things moving and help people. I think there's a lot of people out there that want to do the same for us, but be careful. Do things right. Put your heart first. Your heart will never steer you wrong. And you know what? When you talk about creating a masterpiece, the greatest thing about creating a masterpiece within you is you. Be an original. Just be the best you could be and search within you of what's special and unique about you and bring that out and share it with your guests so that you weave a web around them. And I can't tell you how many people I see that I haven't seen in years that first of all say to me, you know what, I really miss you. That was the greatest haircut I've ever had. And I'll always look at them and say, look, wait a minute. I've never done the greatest haircut anybody's had because I've never been a great haircutter. And I've never been one to say that I was, but I can tell you one thing. When I have you in my chair, no one will treat you like I'll treat you. And I'll make you feel so special being in that chair that no one can compete with feelings. And that's the key. That's the goal, always has been. And that's what sometimes some of us begin to lose as we get stressed and we get busy and we have so much going on. Now, I'd like to make a suggestion. Those of you that are here tonight that have taken the time to spend this hour with me, let's do something special together. Those of you on Facebook Live, I have it right here in front of me. Let's do something special. Let's have a meeting tomorrow or the day after with our staff, just a quick meeting, and just remind them why we're here and that it's all about heart and it's all about love. And be careful of your dialogue and be careful what you're sharing and be careful what you're talking about, because the first thing a client does when they get out in their car is thinks about their conversation with you. The second thing they do is move that mirror and look at their hair to see if they like what happened. You need to make them love both. And that's so important. Make sure you share all things good with them. Make them feel great about having be with you. Be their release. Let them get away from their life and their kids. Go ahead, Andrew. Do you have something you wanted to share?
No, that was me. Andrew always has something he wants to share.
I'm sorry, James. I saw
I'm
the
the
light
one.
bulb.
Andrew
I didn't know
shares in
who.
the comments beautifully, and I just don't shut up. No, I'm only teasing. It's interesting because you bring up a really good point. We happen to love Halloween in our salon because it's sort of a non-denominational holiday. You can do fun stuff with it. The timing is good, tricks and treats, and you can have a little bit of fun with it. But a lot of salons now have been open, 3, 4, 4.5 months at that point. So some of these clients are coming back. So I would say to anyone that's on, if you miss the opportunity, that first shot when they came in and it's in a mask and there's gloves and everybody's in a hazmat suit and the service, now these clients are coming back for that second or third visit. You're more comfortable in terms of what the protocols are that your state set up. you're getting better at it. Everybody's doing such a great job. Our Salon Owner Mastermind group on Facebook, you guys, if you guys are in any other groups about hair salons, you know what our group is about versus everything else. And it's not just a shameless plug for how good you guys are, but we're the real deal. Like, it's owners that talk about the real stuff that goes on. But you have this opportunity to have, they always say you never get a second chance to make a first impression. You're getting a second chance to make a first impression because COVID's letting you go back and say, man, I wish I would have changed the way we did X, Y, and Z. You have the opportunity to do it now, and it's all before the holidays. So use that to your advantage. I mean, listen, it was weird when we opened. Clients knew that. We were uncomfortable. Gino's right. We're sanitation and disinfection experts, but man, oh man, when they make you put your hands behind your head and one foot up and say, all right, do that haircut while you have a mask on, but you got to be backwards with a blindfold on, it turns into a game show.
Big
You
time.
guys got really good at it over these 100+ days. Use it as a second chance.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Great thinking. And a lot of people don't realize that the greatest way to begin learning is to evaluate. So it might be a good time just to evaluate what happened from the start to now, and what we can differentiate, what we can make different, what we can make better, and always look at, is it Kaizen? In Japanese, a constant, never-ending improvement, always looking at what we can do to make things better. Okay, next, and I think this is so important, and I know I've talked about it before, but that is to react or respond. A great way to have a great life is to never react, but always respond. And most of us that are beauty professionals, that are hairdressers, that are artists, we love to react because we're very emotional. But remember that a reaction is 100% emotion. And a response is to think before you speak. Think before you say anything. Think before you do anything. And don't let those that don't matter take away your power by getting into you, by getting involved, by getting under your skin. Next, ask yourself, what could I become if I became aware of my true potential? And this is really one of my favorite things because I don't know, I mentioned just a few minutes ago, I've never been a great hairdresser, and I never have, but I've always been busy. I've always been booked, gosh, months ahead of time. I've always made massive money. I've always had a lot of fun. I've always enjoyed the interior of my salon and my great staff and my great coworkers and the people that I've had an opportunity to grow with and experience together. I've always loved my clients and experienced my clients. But you know what? I've never been great at it. I've just been great at all the other things that went along with it. And I think it's important to become aware of your complete potential. What could you be if you really tried? What could you be if you gave your all every day? What could you be if you really stayed focused on the most important things and not let life in general pull you away from that? It's so important. Remember, what you focus on is what gets done. And sometimes we try to focus on so much. Sometimes there's so much that's different right now, it can be overbearing. But you know what? You're smarter than that and you're stronger than that. Don't let that overtake you. Learn how to respond to life, learn how to respond to what's happening, and learn how to learn from it. Next, take a walk, work out, take care of yourself. Just stop the world every now and then and get off. Have a glass of wine. Relax, have a drink, take a deep breath and realize we're going to be okay. For 6,500 years of recorded history, we've made it through everything. We're certainly going to make it through this. It's just going to be a matter of putting in the time, but everybody's going to make it and everybody's going to get done and everybody's going to be okay. It's all going to be all right. Now, you know what? Before I go any further, because you guys know me and I can talk. Are there any questions, James, or anything anybody wants me to hit on or go further?
To be honest with you, I feel like, you're speaking their language. I feel like with salon owners that join our group, everything that you've talked about are things they can all reflect on. Bella just said, "Are you like this every day?" um,
Yes.
but reality of it is these are all things that are really important, and I hope that that's what we can stress is after 68 calls, and you guys have all been in here, and the great comments and the great questions that come in. These are the things that you guys. This is the unit that's been built. This is the camaraderie of it. Listen. Sometimes it sucks. sometimes there's issues with staff. Sometimes there's issues at home. I mean, I have three kids in homeschool up in the attic, and my fancy green screen and all my fun stuff that I used
He
to
doesn't
have.
let him out of the attic. That's where they stay now.
Well, it's like flowers in the attic, but you probably
Yeah,
have
yeah,
that signed book behind you too, there, right?
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's a
But
great book.
it's just it's sometimes you need that support, and sometimes it needs to come from people like Gino or people like the BBR or other people that are salon owners in the group, and that's where you have to go back to. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's really hard to get those answers from your staff or even your spouse if they're not in the industry, because, like you said, come home with your heart, not with your head. Sometimes you got to drop your bags, right? They used to say that with anything else, right? Stress or depression or anything. Sometimes you have to take the backpack off at the door and leave it outside and come in and say, hey, I'm going to watch a movie. I'm going to pet my dog. I'm going to take a walk and relax.
Absolutely, absolutely. I was having a conversation with Nikki and Iva not long ago, and I think most of you know Nikki and Iva. And we were talking about coaching, and Nikki was asking me how I felt about it, and I said, just to go right on your words, James, I said, you know what? I think we all need to be reminded at times that there's much more to us than we appear to think, that there's more to us than we're putting out. I think we all need to be reminded at times that there's things we know that we should do, that we're aware of, that we don't do. I mean, one of the things I mentioned early on to Derek was how cool was it to have BBR? And we had so much of it there for a while. It was like continuous, and everybody was getting this vibe, this sense of, you know what, A, we're together. B, we've got people that understand and see who we are and what we're doing. C, there's some people out there that do things a little different or know a little more or practice a little harder that maybe I could learn from, that I could develop something from. But, I think we all need to be reminded at times, are you doing what's most important? Are you paying attention to what's most important? My conversation with Nikki and Iva, we were talking a little bit about, I have friends that have gone into business and spent more time on creating their frontal space and their store than their clients. And I would say to them, what are you doing? You're spending all this money on your front space and your store and your furniture. You don't have any clients yet. Shouldn't you get clients first and then buy a new chair and then get a new phone? Like, if you're not careful and you don't stay pertinent, it's easy to get sidetracked. And there's a great thing that years back, the first couple of rocket ships that and missiles and satellites that NASA set off, they had catastrophes with, because they never created the MCCC. And when they did, it changed everything. That was the mid-course corrections computer. And everything that leaves Earth has a mid-course corrections computer in it now, that if it's aiming for the moon, about halfway, this thing clicks on and goes, shit, we're not near the moon. We better change things just a little bit. Well, you know what? My old friend Dr. Lou used to say all the time, if they can put a flag on the damn moon, you mean to tell me you can't figure out this COVID crap? We can do anything if we really put our minds and our hearts and our souls to it, and awaken our power, and then use our power to the benefit. But that starts with the review. Let's go backwards and look at what maybe we could have done, should have done, that we didn't do, and what needs to change now. Let's look at the money profitability that can happen through this time, and let's capitalize on it. Let's look at how we can keep ourselves positive. Now, I find red wine is really very handy in staying positive and happy, and not too much, not too little. I've learned now with BBR, I like that it's only an hour, because usually within 90 minutes, I'm highly intoxicated, and then I'm talking to people, I don't know what I'm saying.
As long as you don't fall off the stage, it's okay. And listen,
You know
thank you
what?
for the shameless. Listen, thank you for the shameless Dr. Lou plug.
Uh,
So for everybody on the BBR, we've been lucky enough to have Gino on, and we're off for Columbus Day next week, and then we're gonna have Dr. Lou, and we're gonna, besides Gino CDs, we're gonna give some signed Dr. Lou books. I don't know if he actually signed them or not. I think he just sent them. Oh no, he did sign them.
Oh, beautiful,
Brother.
beautiful. God, I've had that book for a million years. Dr. Lou's a very special man. He's the closest person to a hairdresser that's not a hairdresser that I've ever met. I mean,
Besides me, wait, besides me,
oh, exactly.
I'm the
Yeah.
second.
Oh,
I'm the second closest. But
no, I meant he's second closest. I forgot that you're right there on top.
No, but those are all good points, and everybody that's chiming in on Facebook and in the comments is that it's the community that we've created, that hairdressers over this course of closure, and obviously BBR, shameless plug, we've done a great job with trying to get everybody unified, but it's the community. We've been able to go back and say, hey, as owners and stylists and people that have been in the industry, we're able to come together and say, man, we can work this out. And I think that's the most important message so far, is that, we're going to get through it. There's not a Tyrannosaurus Rex outside. When you were telling the Jaguar story before we opened, I'm laughing in my head. I'm like, man, that's the last thing I need right now is actual Jaguars outside of my house trying to,
Yeah,
there's enough shit going on outside. That's all I need is Jaguars and a T-Rex
yeah,
outside. And
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that would sort of make my whole 2020 at this point.
I hear you. Did you see my post? Stop 2020. I want to get off. I'd like to get off and come back in 2021 and see what's changed and what's different. But it's okay. You know what? If you really ponder, many good things have happened as a result of this. Much good has happened as a result of this. A lot of people have regrounded. A lot of people have tightened up their relationships. A lot of people have a firmer understanding of life and the moment. And I'll tell you, going back to that old saying, all character is built in the storm. I think when you've had a crazy, tumultuous childhood, you have a deeper love and respect and understanding for life. You can see that we can make it through most anything. And not only can we survive, but we can thrive. And that's the deal for all of you. That is that how do we thrive through this? How do we really make this work? I put down some notes that I thought would be really, really pertinent to share with you right now. And it starts here. Nikki was asking me, where do I see the future of the industry? Like what's really going to happen? I don't know exactly because it's very difficult to put your finger on it. I can tell you one thing, I'm not happy with a lot of the large manufacturers that we deal with, in that I felt like they could have done more and they didn't. And I am keeping close eye and close contact with who is doing more and who is paying attention and who is taking care of us. And you need to do the same thing. We need to make people pay for what they haven't done, and we need to pay the people that have done well. Nikki and I have a program I mentioned coming up on October 26th. We decided to put the entire program's funding to the Professional Beauty Association because we had a conversation with Leslie about all of the salons that have burnt down in California and all of the salons that got flooded in the South, and we want to help. Your family is beauty salons and beauty professionals everywhere. And that's the way to do it. Now, I think the big picture, listen, there's a lot of people now that are running around silly that just because there's COVID, they now think that they can be salon owners. You know what? We're going to have a crazy next year or two because I've had employees that couldn't work or listen to me. What's going to make them work and listen to themselves? So I see some big changes coming down the line, and I think that's one of them. I also think that this value that we've developed during COVID is going to stay with us. I think people are beginning to see and value the sanctuary of a beauty salon, of a spa, of a haircut, of color like never before. So I think that is going to be here to stay. And if we remind them, I see a lot of the larger salon chains that are weakening, that are faltering, that are getting smaller. It's almost like we're going to have a complete restart. That's kind of where I see the future of beauty, the future of life. Let's see how the vaccine works. Let's see if we can't get these kids back to school. Let's at least get them socially with other kids to communicate effectively. I think the power of communication has greatly diminished. I saw not too long ago a YouTube on how to smile, how to use your eyes to smile because they can't see your mouth anymore. How to get, one of the, and for us, I mean, that's kind of a killer because I'm all about visual. Anyway, with that said, here's what I'd like you to think about. Number one, Do things right. It's not about doing the right thing. It's about doing things right now. Make sure you do things right. If you've got employees, take care of them. If you got an employer, take care of them. Communicate effectively. If you've got a family, take care of them and expect your family to take care of you. If you've got friends, take care of them and expect them to take care of you. Do you have a social register? Are you taking time to FaceTime people all week long and try to see face to face how nice it is to see your friends and see your family and see that they're well and they're healthy and everything is good and everything's going on. Next, if you've got passion, get it out and use it. If you don't, then find some. But do things with passion. Get passionate about your life and about your day and about your future and about your career and about your learning and about your customer. Re-engage that passion. There's nothing wrong with being passionate about being a beauty professional. Next, show that you care. Get in the habit today of showing people that you care. I'm an avid gardener. I give vegetables to my neighbors just to show them that I don't give them the best vegetables. I give them basically the ones I don't want, but I give them vegetables to show them that it matters. How do you show people that you care? You just show them a little love. You show them a little respect. Next, when it comes to your customer, it comes to that salon, and it comes to talking to people about the beauty industry, explain that it matters. It matters to you what they use. It matters to you where they go. It matters to you what they do. It matters to you whether they use a professional product or not. Explain that it matters to me who you are and where you go and what you do, and that you're my guest. Next, be precise. Practice precision. Be as precise as you can. Use less words more effectively. Try not to use every word in the book. Don't blab away. Next, cover your team. Cover your team members. Some of us can handle this fine. Some of us can't. If you've got people you work with that are freaking out, that are disengaging, that can't quite get it, give them your strength. Lend them the opportunity. Help them along. Help the people around you along. Help them to understand that there truly is, if there's hope in the future, there's power in the present. And it's important that we get that message out to everyone and get them to understand. If there's hope in the future, there's power in the present. So get in the habit of covering your team. Look around and see who needs help and help them. Next, learn how to sell well, especially today, how to sell yourself, your services, and your products. And get in the habit of selling. Life is about sales. Listen, I've got 3 great adult children because my wife and I sold them real well on the importance of going to school, getting good grades, paying attention, and being human, and having respect and taking care of others. Next, share your knowledge. The greatest way to grow is to share your knowledge with others. You open yourself up to more knowledge. So don't hold what you know. Share it with the people around you. It's an especially good time to just conduct a meeting in the break room with a coworker and explain to them how you do what you do to help them do what they do in a better way. The sharing of knowledge is so important in who we are and what we do, okay? Next, be careful. Don't get too caught up in all this crap. Make sure you continue to wear your mask, carry your sanitizer, and don't get lackadaisical about it. This is how this thing is going to explode again. So you've got to stay pertinent. You've got to be careful. You've got to stay on point. Staying on point means you wear a mask, you have an extra mask, you carry a mask for people that don't have one. Today, I just had a conversation with a guy at the post office who walked in who I knew, and I said, "Where's your mask?" He goes, "Oh, I'm going to get it anyway." I said, "Well, then don't give it to me. Have respect for the 250,000 people in America who died and just wear a mask." I mean, is that asking too much? Next, pay attention. Pay attention to what's happening. Pay attention to what you think is going to happen. I have friends and people that ask me all the time, what should I invest in right now? Where do you see the stock market going? Where is the economy going? Look, I don't know. I'm a high school dropout hairdresser. I only know one thing. I watch people. I study life. I look at what bags they're carrying. I look at where they're shopping. I look at what they're wearing. I look at what they're doing. I look at where people are shopping right now. I look at Costco, Tractor Supply, Home Depot, Lowe's. They're all up. They're all soaring. People are investing money in their homes. Pay attention to what's going on around you and then learn from that. I look at Instacart and the people that are shopping. I mean, when I go to the food store now, I love to see the shoppers. The shop for you. They're like professionals. Get that cart. They know where everything is. They're just filling the cart up. Boom, they're right out the door. I mean, it's pretty incredible what's changing and what's happening. Next, if it's important, talk about it. Talk about it to everyone. You know what? Take the time to talk about your profession. Take the time to tell people around you, we've got openings right now. We're developing a bit of a new clientele. Please join us. Talk about it to everyone. Next, take full responsibility for who you are, where you are, why you are, and what you do. Give the blame to no one. Life starts when you take full responsibility and then you do what you have to do to be the best at who you are and what you do and how you live. That's the key. That's the key. Next, grow you. What are you doing right now to grow you? This is the perfect time to begin a series of you growing you. What's missing in your life? What is it you don't know that if you did know would make a difference? What are you reading? What are you studying? What are you listening to right now? There's so much learning out there. I mean, Derek was talking earlier about YouTube. I go on YouTube and I just learned how to caulk my house on YouTube. You can learn everything. I mean, there's so much learning. And you know what? Our industry has so many great seminars like this one, so many great educators, so much great information out there that a lot of people are too busy to partake in. Well, you know what I tell people all the time? Do you really deserve success? Because if you deserve success, it will come to you. And if you don't deserve success, lessons come at you all the time telling you what you need to learn to make it happen. I'm going to pick up the pace because our time is running out. And in case anybody has questions, I've got some great answers. So I'll pick it up. Stay with me. Next, take inventory. Take inventory of what you need, what you don't have. Take inventory of what's going on right now. By the way, I mean, just a simple thing, but paper goods like toilet paper and paper towel, stock up. We always run out when people freak out. It's like when there's a snowstorm, people buy milk and toilet paper. It's like, all we're going to do is drink milk and poop. I mean, I don't know, but you know what? Learn, take inventory, stock up. Next, don't waste anything. Stop wasting. Stop wasting stuff. I watch people mix color in the infirmary. I mean, I'm about ready to like just pass out. People mix enough color for one short-haired person. They could do 4 or 5 people. Stop wasting anything. Do you know what that is? That's being respectful of our resources. Don't waste anything. Make it a habit. Next, get in with the right people. Be careful who you hang around with. One of the things I tell people all the time is, I used to be an avid pot smoker every day, all day long. I loved it. I used to think it was where I got my creativity. I thought the whole world smoked pot. I mean, it's just all I knew. And then one day I stopped. July 5th, 1990. Never smoked pot again. Do you know what I found? I found a whole bunch of people that didn't smoke pot. I never knew that was possible. I thought everybody did. You see, if you get with smart people, you'll get smart. If you get with alcoholics, you'll become an alcoholic. If you get with idiots, you'll become an idiot. Where do you want to end up? Where do you want to go? Because you want to find those people that will take you there and find those people that will push you there. That's the mentor concept. I'll pull you, they push me. Okay, next. Add value to everything you do. And there's one more, and that's what I want to close with. It's so important today, probably more important than ever, that you have faith, confidence, and belief in you, in your services, in your products, in your world, in your boss, in your coworkers, in your industry, in your country. Have faith, confidence, and belief. Be careful what you listen to and who you listen to. We're going to be okay. You have to have faith. Have faith in God. Have faith in life. Have faith in who you are. Have faith in the fact that anything you really want, you can make happen. Sometimes the hardest lesson in coaching is to teach people that everything you have to be everything you want is already inside you. You were born with it. The key for a good coach is to help you see it, have faith in it, have respect in it, have confidence in it, and then learn how to bring it out. That's what it's all about. It's all about becoming your best you. It's all about defining your definition of success. It's all about understanding that if you've got the best products and the best services and the best industry and the best company in the world, then blab it. Tell everybody and keep that level of faith, confidence, and belief. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been an honor to be here with you tonight. I want to thank each and every one of you, especially my dear friends that I see on the screen, that my God could probably do anything I do because you've heard me do it so many times. I appreciate all of you. I'm thankful that you're all healthy and that you're here. I'm thankful that you're keeping your salons and your people and your customers healthy. I know we're going to make it through this thing, all of us together. I'm always no more than a phone call or an email away. I'd love to hear from you. And I want to thank you so much right from my heart for all of you being here tonight. Thank you and have a great evening. God bless each and every one of you. Any great questions there? Any thoughts?
We just posted for them to push out questions. Let's see who has questions. If
Well,
you
out
have
of
a
the
question,
gate, wait.
Yeah,
Did you see Mary and Phil? So Phil is
Yeah.
upset that my background is not Phil Wilson. You know, he likes when I do the Phil Wilson background because you know how Phil is. And Mary wants to know how many times you actually did color in the infirmary or if you meant dispensary, but she just didn't know if that was a thing.
Did I say? Listen,
Hey, listen, if
I'll
you're
do
watching
color anywhere. As
if
long
you're
as they're
watching the
paying,
MASH marathon, it's okay.
as long as they're paying me, I'll do color anywhere. Yes, it must have been the dispensary. Why, thank you, Mary. She's such a darling. She doesn't miss a beat. Talk about a great coach. Thank you so much. Any thoughts, questions, ideas?
Andrew, you got to unmute yourself.
I have to unmute myself. So
There
Gino,
you
I
go.
thought that you would add that one of the most important things to do is to ask questions. Because when we ask questions, we grow.
Yes.
And not asking questions. I'm sure that each and every person out there in the audience has a question that they want to ask.
You know what? Not only do I hear you, Andrew, but I'll tell you, I can distinctly remember 1987 at the IBS in New York. I had brought my staff there from my salons to go to the show, and everyone was supposed to visit an event and come back and teach a class on it. And I met with someone who you all know, so I'm not going to say his name, but I couldn't wait to tell him how cool I was, how great I was, and what a great salon I had. I mean, because I knew I was cool, I knew I was great, I knew I had a great salon. And I must have blabbed for about 15 minutes, and he held his hand up like this, and he said, "You will never learn anything." And I said, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "You never stop talking. You got to learn how to ask questions. You never even stop to listen." And I'll never forget the 4.5 hour train ride back to Washington, D.C. That is all I thought about. You never stop, you never listen, you never ask questions. And I began to realize, you know what? For a minute there, I thought I was the smartest person in the world. And then I began to see that everybody's got a lesson for you if you'll just ask. Everybody, even a kid. I don't know if ever you've heard me, and I don't want to drag on too much, but my little next door neighbor, Simone Weaver. I had neighbors, the Weavers. They were gifts from God. And little Simone Weaver, one time, I had my old Verizon flip phone, and she came over. She was 6 years old. Or 8 years old. "What are you doing?" I said, I just got off a call on my phone. She goes, wow, that is an old phone. I said, yeah. She goes, is that a flip phone? And I said, yeah. She said, oh, well, my parents, they have iPhones. I said, yeah, that's cool, but I don't need anything more than a flip phone. What do I need an iPhone for? She goes, well, do you have like messaging on there, or can you get on like Facebook or YouTube? I didn't even know what she was talking about. I was like, well, no. Well, you know what? We got done talking, make a long story boring. She goes back home. 3 hours later, I'm at the Verizon store saying, this phone is stupid. I want to be cool. I need an iPhone. And I thought to myself, you learned a lesson from an 8-year-old. It's not that hard. So your thinking is right on, Andrew.
Well, Pastor asked you a question, Gino. What has not happened during these times that you thought would?
Uh, Probably on an individual basis, a panic. There aren't as many people panicking as I thought. I think that for the most part, most people are dealing and handling well. Um, that would probably be the biggest thing, I think. I have been very concerned, Andrew, about the young people today in America that can't go to school, that can't have that social schooling that we had. But probably panic would be the biggest thing. Maybe that, and the fact that people had a lot more money than I thought, because everybody in my town's painting their house. You know?
Yeah. So Bella says, what do you say every morning to stay positive?
Uh, well, I begin every day with a prayer. That's first. I used to pray at night, but I get sidetracked at night. Sometimes start my prayers and then start thinking about the lady in the second row of my audience that was really beautiful. So I stopped doing that. And now I just say my prayer in the morning. But what I always do, just to remind myself to stay positive, is just be sure and look at what I'm grateful for and less at what I don't have. And I think that that's really the key. I think so many people, Andrew, don't realize how lucky we are just to be here tonight together. I mean, this is wonderful that we have this venue, that we have this company willing to do this, that we have these people willing to get on, that we have a thing called Zoom. It's just kind of cool. And I think that what people have to do is just start every morning reminding yourself, I'm lucky, I'm fortunate, I've got the opportunity of a lifetime today. How will I make today matter? And I think that should be your mantra. Yes.
You're 100% with that. I'm a huge fan of Wayne Dyer, always have been. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us. But one of the best things he ever said is, every morning I wake up, and I do this too, is when your feet touch that carpet or that hardwood floor as you're getting out of bed, you thank yourself. You thank the Lord. You thank the world that you're alive and that you have feeling that morning, right? Because there are plenty of people who don't. So be thankful for every minute we have with each other, like we're spending right now, and every minute you have to wake up and have another day.
Amen, brother. Right on. Only way to go. Well, you know what? It's hard for me because I don't understand why people can't do that or don't do that. And I don't want to say that's my everyday. Look, I'm a bastard just like everybody else on certain days. Some days it just overtakes you and you can't control it or handle it. But for the most part, I do at many times benefit, not I don't mean this other than what had happened, but both of my parents died very young, very fast. My dad was 49, my mom was 57. It left me very much with an understanding of, you don't know what day you're going. You don't know what you got coming down the pike, and how can you just make today matter? How can you treat people with the level of respect that's utmost and make today work? I hope that answers your question.
That answers mine. Absolutely.
Fantastic.
Bella,
What do you got, Andrew? James, anything out there that we need to hit on?
No, I think we've been doing some contests. We've been trying to show the light at the end of the tunnel over the past several weeks, which I feel like our crew has been really positive about. I mean, it's going to end eventually, right? Corona is not going to turn into Corona 2 and Corona 3. It's not Star Wars, for crying out loud. Um, but I think one of the things I want to tell the group is that, one of the things I thought, talk about what you do, I thought was great. I feel like that's something that's been a lost art behind the chair, or outside of the chair. When people ask, it's like, oh, you're a hairdresser. Like it's funny, if you were an electrician or a plumber and you were at the bar somewhere and somebody said, what do you do? Oh, I'm a plumber. Oh my God, they'd have 100 questions. If you say I'm a hairdresser and you're dressed really nice and your hair is done really nice, and they would say, oh, you're a hairdresser, like you dropped out of school and you like, I don't know, like beauty school dropout, right? But I think the other thing too is explaining why the importance of what they do. So not just what they purchase from you. I mean, obviously being local businesses now, I think everybody should be chiming in on why you should support local. I don't care what it is. Gino's supporting his local restaurants. We're doing the same. I will not shop on Amazon unless I absolutely have to at this point. I'll go anywhere I have to. I don't care what the price point is. It doesn't matter what it is for our households, but I'm going to support everybody in our local community, and you guys should do the same. Hopefully, the holidays coming up, people start to think that way. But it's when you said respect the resources. I know you were talking about color usage and sort of the salon owner and the stylist, but overall, I mean, obviously, as a sustainable business and someone that cares about the environment, that speaks different to me. But you guys should all go home and think about respecting your resources. Like, there's only so much power that you have in a day. There's only so much power you have in the salon and what you can do with what you have. Use it to your advantage. I mean, you guys are more powerful than you are.
You got
Um,
that right.
you know, you don't have to work 23 hours a day to try to make everything happen. I mean, work smarter, not harder. I think that some of the old mantras and all the old stupid things if you went into any business office in the 80s, they had huge posters of stupid things with water drops and all kinds of humongous things about working smarter and not harder. Use all of those things. I mean, they're all over the map.
You know what? I live on those things. I
You have
I
them?
actually, I
You have the
actually
calendar?
I actually have a little list here. I don't have a calendar, but I have a list of all my favorite quotes that I read all the time. And I don't know if it's because it took me so long to get right and it took me so long to get focused, and I made the same mistakes so many times over and over again. It took me a long time to really get on track, and boy, once I got on track, I really got it. But I live by those things. I live by the same wind blows on us all, to remind myself that sometimes when I think, wow, why is this stuff happening so much to me, it's happening to everybody, and some things much worse. And you have to sometimes just condense it and put it in its place and put it in its profile and put your life in perspective. But I agree with you totally. I live by those mantras. And I think even the word mantras kind of gotten a bad rap. Sometimes you have to have a self dialogue that you remind yourself you're capable of greatness. You can overcome anything. You can do anything. And some of us really need that reminding. And some of us really have the power where we can remind others, how important that is.
No, and it's true. And I think that, especially obviously of, we're all East Coasters, obviously, but, Andrew, Derek, and I are obviously close to New York and New Jersey, but, you're almost 30 days shy of September 11th, which was such a huge event for the United States. And, the days that came after that, the weeks that came after that, there was so much unity for us as Americans. And, I don't know if you'd call it nationalism, patriotism, whatever it is. And here you're coming in a less than 30 days to an election and all these crazy things that, we're forgetting. You're in a mask. So you said, hey, smile at someone. And it's hard. I mean, when I put a mask on and I try to smile, I always look like the Joker, like, my eyebrows, it's like people are like, is he trying to attack me or is he smiling at me? But, we're in the salon industry, we are always sort of that middle of the road, no matter what it is, no matter what your views are, they're your customers, no matter what views you have, they're your staff. And we sort of always had this great knack for kind of towing the line, no matter what the issue was, whether it was what size dog to buy or who you're going to vote for or what color your hair should be. We were experts in all of that stuff. There was not a bartender in Manhattan that could navigate a conversation like that better than any hairstylist ever.
Well,
And
the coolest thing, James, most of us, we really do mean it. And that's really how it is. One of the things I tell college kids and high school kids all the time is one thing you'll begin to understand about the beauty industry, right in beauty school, is we don't discriminate against anybody for any reason about anything. I mean, there's a place for everything to fit. Everything done right fits. Everything done well fits. And that's something to really be proud of. I mean, that's really who we are. And that's really what we display and what we share with others is, you know what, loosen up, open up, and just have a heart for everyone. There's a place for everyone. I mean, everybody's got a purpose, you know, give them some
Love it.
space. That was
James.
beautiful.
Beautiful.
James, quick question, and I may be out of place. Are we doing the award for last week's show, or?
We're not. We're
We
going to do a
just-
double. Wait, so we're going to do a double. So we're going to take Gino's question from tonight, and
Okay.
one of our lucky fans on our BBR group is going to get a signed. It was an 8-track. I made Gino upgrade it. I was like, you can't give these
Yes.
kids an 8-track. They don't even have it anymore.
Yeah.
No, we're going to get a signed CD from Gino, one of his greatest, which I think they're all great, Gino. So I don't know.
Well, thank you.
I think no matter what, everybody's going to do okay. And we also have a ticket to the revival, which Phil and Mary Wilson and some of our greats like Beth Minardi will be on October. I think that's the 18th and 19th, Sunday and Monday. So we have a lot of fun stuff. Gino, we're also going to steal a question from Gino that you guys aren't going to know about. We're going to post that up too. We have a couple of great signed books from Dr. Lou, who's going to be with us in 2 weeks. Just want to remind everybody that Dr. Lou does not like 8 o'clock on Eastern time. So look in the message. I think it's is it 2 p.m. or 3 p.m., Derek? I forget.
Pretty sure it's 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you miss it,
And listen,
we will record it.
we
But,
will.
Oh, that's a
So
good
James-
idea. But you know what? If you can make it, he's worth it. If you haven't seen
Oh,
Dr. Lou and you can make it, he'll blow your mind.
Oh, you know how many
It will
times I've
be-
called
it will
Dr.
be
Lou hammered, Gino, over the course of COVID? I called Dr. Lou like 3 or 4 times already. I probably talked to him hammered more than I talked to you and Derek.
Oh, well, I feel better knowing that because, gosh, I've gotten a few pretty good ones too.
I'm actually glad.
No.
Because
love it.
James needs Dr. Lou more than all of us. So.
By the
Yes.
way, did you see Anthony
Well,
DeFranco's? Did you see Anthony DeFranco's message that he's got signed cassettes from me? That's how far back we go.
A 60%.
Oh, that's funny. That's
How nice
funny.
is that?
So James, when are we going to be announcing the winners of this next contest?
We're going to post some questions up tonight, and we're going to put them into the announcements of the BBR group on Solano Door Masterminds, and then we're going to pull them on Monday for Columbus Day or Indigenous People Day or a day off if you work in the bank. However you want to look at that Monday, I'm fine with the day off, to be honest with you. I'm okay with that. I like Indigenous people. I mean, Italians, Columbus, I don't know. It's we'll see how that turns out after COVID. I have enough problems going on to figure out what the actual holiday means, but we will do that on October 12th.
James, someone had a question, Bella had a question. Who is Dr. Lou? Because sometimes we assume everyone knows who Dr. Lou is.
Oh, wow. Dr. Lou was Matrix's top educator for a million years. He wrote the book Psychosmetologist, and Dr. Lou's been educating. He's a psychologist, and he's been educating and doing shows for countless years. He's got great stories, great motivation, and just an all-round incredible guy. Really incredible. You'll really enjoy Dr. Lou if you haven't ever seen him. And if you have seen him, you'll enjoy him. And I find Dr. Lou very much like me. I don't even mind hearing his same stories over again because I love how he tells them a little bit different each time. So yeah, you will. Someone asked me what was my favorite quote. I think it was Nikki Lee that I just saw on the Facebook Live to my left on my monitor. Yes. I am like first class tonight. My favorite quote is that you will either suffer the pain of discipline or suffer the pain of regret. And the question goes on to say that regret weighs ounces, discipline weighs ounces, and regret weighs tons. And that was from my dear old friend, Jim, who I'm sure a lot of you know, died just a couple years ago and has the most incredible stuff to share with people. But I'll tell you what about that quote. It's been a life changer because it comes back to me constantly. Gino, will you stop and take the time to suffer the pain of discipline, or will you suffer the pain of regret? Guys, I need to go.
Gino, before you run,
Yes.
couple last things. Shameless plug. Don't forget to see Gino and Nikki in their upcoming. Gino, go ahead, plug it.
October 26th from 11 to 3. Go to thestatementsproject.com. And I'll tell you what, I can't say enough about Nikki Lee. Her thinking right now, her thinking about the beauty industry through this COVID experience is better than anyone I know in the world. If you have an opportunity to hear what she has to share, she'll rock your world.
For sure. No, with all joking aside, please support the both of them. They're great educators, and the money is going to the PBA, and it's for a great cause. So everybody, if you can, attend it. It is a paid event, but you're helping other salons survive and prosper. And thank you, Gino and Nikki, both for your time in putting that together. The other thing is shameless plug, Salon Ninja. Don't forget, Nikki's been promoting it. Thank you, Nick. I appreciate that. Salon Ninja is the only marketing platform for the salon industry, specifically made for the salon industry. A couple of our members on tonight have been invited to the Data-Driven Salon Today from Salon Today. Make sure you watch that. If you haven't heard of Data-Driven, make sure you get on that with Salon Today. And
now,
next week,
is it Dr. I need help. Is it data driven or data driven?
Well, it depends on where you're from, Gino.
I'm
I
from
guess.
Jersey.
Tomato, I say tomato. Come on, Gino.
You know, right? Yeah, exactly.
Gino, what are we
What's
doing
the matter
over
for
here,
you,
Gino?
Gino?
Come on.
Thank you.
Anyway,
It's a fugazi, Gino. It's a fugazi.
I got you.
oh my God, now you're talking New Jersey slang Italian, right?
You got that
My
right.
wife comes up with stuff and I laugh all
Only
the time.
way
I'm
to
like, that's
go.
not Italian. She said, but that's how they say it in New Jersey if you're Italian. Like Galamad. What
New
the hell
Jersey
is Galamad?
the numbers. The numbers.
Forgive me, guys. I got to go.
You know?
Good night,
Gino.
Gino, thank
Pleasure.
you. Thank you.
I'll see you soon. Thank you for tonight. Thank you all. It was wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
100%. James, you got any last minute stuff to?
No, that's good. Hey, we got reminded that Canadian Thanksgiving, Nancy, is next week, so that's why we're off. Not because of Columbus, not because of anything else.
Perfect.
To our Canadian friends, we are celebrating your Thanksgiving next Monday, and then we'll be back with Dr. Lou. That'll be posted in. There will be a few contests coming up. We do have the ticket to the revival, the golden ticket, which includes the rewatch. We have some books from Dr. Lou that are signed that we'll give away during his call, and obviously the signed Gino CDs. So hopefully you guys are liking these prizes and some of the fun stuff. And it's always good to have you guys. Always good to see you, Andrew. Always good to see you, Derek.
Good to see you, James.
I like the view. I got to be honest. I always like Derek's view, but Andrew, I'm liking the view behind you this time. The lighting is better. You look younger. I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Younger.
Beautiful. Good night, everybody. Thanks for attending BBR.
Good night, guys.
We will see you in 2 weeks. Stay tuned to the group for the prizes and comments, and post your positive stuff. Right, James? Let's jump on this. Let's post your wins inside the group instead of the negative stuff. I mean, that's always great too. If you have an issue, we can address that. But post your wins. It's important to help all of your fellow salon owners. Have a great night, everybody, and we'll see you soon.
Good night, guys.
Right.